So we went out and got pumpkins today. So I think it's safe to say it is officially fall. Hello everyone, it is Samantha and I hope you guys are having a lovely day today. I am here today with a Top 5 Wednesday video. I haven't really done very many Halloween-y type videos this month, and I thought since this topic is, of course, in the spirit of Halloween, I might as well come and join in on the fun, because today's Top 5 Wednesday topic is the top 5 creepy settings to a book. So they don't necessarily have to be horror related, just kind of creepy, which I have read many of those. None of these, well, one might be classified as horror, the rest are not, but they fit the bill, so we're just gonna go with it. The first one of those books is The Singular and Extraordinary Tale of Mir and Goliath. I read this book a couple of years ago. It's definitely a strange book. I don't really know how to describe it. It's a weird book. It's creepy. It's a little bit gross at times because it's a little bit on the gory side, which is, this of course being the book that kind of falls into the horror genre. But the setting of this book is Victorian London, and it follows this weird, strange girl by the name of Mir, and she kind of comes from a mysterious background. Basically, her grandfather tried to kill her, but she's kind of strange. She's perhaps not quite all human, you are soon led to believe. And she's being guarded by her protector, which is a policeman by the name of Goliath. And together they kind of set out to discover what happened to her and why she is the way that she is now. And they kind of cross paths with John Lovehart Esquire, who is the son of the devil. And he's definitely a very strange character. He kind of wars with, you know, being a demon and also trying to be good because he doesn't really like his father or any of the other fellow demons. He also does some really rather creepy things. So as you can tell, this book is definitely odd. Despite the fact that it was kind of odd and creepy at times, I still found myself enjoying it. The way that she wrote the story was very interesting, like words would take up a whole page. So it made for a very interesting read. It was, you were reading a book, but the way that the book was formatted definitely lent itself to the kind of creepy atmosphere of the story. So it's definitely one that's an excellent read for this time of year. The next one I'm going with is, again, not a horror novel, and I actually recently mentioned this in my fall recommendations video, but I'm giving that to The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. This is a gothic mystery novel. It takes place in Victorian England, and it follows this man trying to figure out the history of this woman in white that he encounters on a country road in the middle of the night. And she resembles somebody else that he knows, this young woman that he is starting to teach art to. They look uncannily similar. He tries to figure out what connects these two people and what the story is of this woman who's just in her nightgown in the middle of a rainy, cold night in England. And it's a really interesting story. It was full of twists and turns that I wasn't expecting. It's one that I really enjoyed immensely and kind of kept me on the edge of my seat. And it definitely had a creepy atmosphere because things were always being twisted. You weren't really sure who to believe or what was going to happen or who was lying and who was telling the truth. And it's, again, another really, really good read for the October and the Halloween time. Number 3, I'm giving to The Haunted Man and the Ghost's Bargain. This is actually one of Charles Dickens' short Christmas stories. But despite the fact that it is Christmas, it is actually kind of a creepy story. It's a little bit reminiscent of The Christmas Carol, but a lot creepier, if that makes any sense. It's basically about a cruel gravedigger who just basically hates everybody. He just goes out of his way to be mean and cruel to people. And yeah, it's definitely an interesting story. He's definitely, in some ways, more of a cruel person than Scrooge was. But one night on Christmas Eve, ghosts and goblins kidnap him and try to teach him a life lesson. So it definitely is more of a creepy story than A Christmas Carol. It's definitely a little bit more dark and bleak, and I think it has more of a creepy atmosphere than A Christmas Carol does. Christmas Carol ends up kind of being a little bit more homey and a cozy story, but this ends up just being kind of creepy, actually. So again, I think this one is actually more fitting to read in October than it is in December, because it's just, yeah, it leaves you feeling a little bit weird, you know? Number 4, I am giving to Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. A lot of you, of course, I'm sure are very familiar with this book because it is a classic, but it's definitely kind of a creepy vibed book. It's all about our Dr. Frankenstein and how he creates his monster and the havoc that his monster wreaks. And it's an interesting tale for sure, but it definitely has a very heavy, creepy, atmospheric vibe because you never know what's going to happen with the monster. Is he going to go after Frankenstein? Who's he going to go after next? Or what's going on there? And even just the night that he was created, it's just kind of creepy and dark and bleak. So I think this one definitely has a pretty fitting, creepy atmosphere. And finally, number 5, I'm giving to Coraline by Neil Gaiman. If you have read this book, you will know why. It is a children's book, in theory. I read it actually as a child. child, and, or, you know, I think I was like 12 or something, and it creeped me out, and I haven't read it since because it's creepy. It's a creepy book. I'm sorry. The people with the button eyes, it's the whole description of this book is creepy. Everything that occurs in it is creepy. I finished it, and 12-year-old me was like, it's icky and creepy. It was still well written, but it's definitely a creepy book. So if you're looking for a book that will kind of give you the heebie-jeebies a little bit, Coraline's definitely the one for you. It's a fun story. It's just the atmosphere is definitely a little bit intense, particularly when you're 12. Just the whole idea of this story, but this girl going through basically just other dimension where it mirrors her own, but her mother in this other world is super creepy and has button eyes, is just, I don't know, creepy. I don't know what this was, but I guess that was my creepy face. Alright guys, that is it for this Top 5 Wednesday video and my top 5 picks for creepy setting books. You guys would love to let me know if you've read any of these and what your thoughts are, or what one of your recommendations would be for a book with a creepy setting, because I'd be curious to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Until next time, happy reading. Bye!